This movie depicts the progression of my self-portrait painting. In these two photos, the sketching stage of my painting is shown. When beginning to paint, I started by blocking in colors and shades on my arms and neck. The highlights, shadows, and tones of my hands and face were then painted. I filled in the color of my eyebrows, my lips, and my eyes. I then decided to block in the main color of my hair. The color of the dress and the flower were then blocked into the photo. Then I worked on defining my face and adding the base color to my necklace. The basket of fruits was added to the painting. I then started to focus mainly on the highlights and shadows on my face. As a break from working on my face, I blocked in the white colors to the patterns of my dress. A wash was used over my face to smooth it out. Later, I added highlights to the face to add depth. Over the next two photos, I worked to finish the appearance of my face. Shadows in my hair were added as well. Then I began to work on completing my arms. I continued to add colors to my arms as well as finish my neck. I added brown and red tones to my arm to add more definition and to add color. At this point, I realized that my arm was too dark, so I lightened it up a bit. And I continued to work on the basket. By this point, I had pretty much finished both my arms. I then worked on making my necklace appear shiny. To make my hair appear wavy and shiny, I added white and washed over it with brown. I decided to fill in the background with blue. Though it was very repetitive, I eventually finished filling in the pattern on my dress. Next, I finished painting the basket and the fruits. Though I originally intended to paint white flowers into the background of the painting, I decided that it would not match the dress or the basket of fruits, so I decided on leaves to give it a more naturey feel. I also tried to incorporate warm tones from my dress and from the fruit basket into the leaves to tie the painting together. I added a few lines to the leaves to give them a more leaf-like feel, but I wanted them to contrast from the very detailed and precise portrait. When I first started this project, I had never seen the works of Kehinde Wiley. However, when I first saw them, I was not sure about how I felt about them. I knew that I liked classical art. However, I did not really like the backgrounds of Kehinde Wiley's portraits because they were so bright. Over time, though, I began to appreciate how the backgrounds contrasted with the paintings that he made. After creating a work of art similar to Kehinde Wiley's, I appreciate his work much more, and in fact, I really do like it. I plan to make my painting like Kehinde Wiley's in the fact that I took a classical painting and then remodeled it to be more modern and in my own portrait and image, and then I painted it. The most difficult aspect of creating my painting was the portrait. It was really hard to recreate the look of my face and especially get all the shadows while not making my face look too dark. The easiest part of adding to my painting was the background. Because the leaves did not need to look three-dimensional and I wanted them to have a more two-dimensional look and a looser feel, I did not have to be so precise on how I made them. I just tried to make the impression of a leaf. If I were ever to do this project again differently, I would probably choose to play around with a different background. The part that I like the best in this painting is the fruits in the basket. I think that even though they're only a very small part of the painting, they add a lot and they really reflect the classical photo that I recreated the image off of. I also really like how the banana was made in particular because it was really hard to make the dark spots on the banana. However, I was pretty happy with how they turned out, and I was also very happy with how the basket weaving was done. Through the foreground and the background of my painting, a cohesive look was achieved by incorporating warm tones from the portrait into the background. The whole painting was given a tropical feel with the warm tones, the leaves, the flower, and the basket of fruits. Overall, I very much enjoyed doing this project, and I would definitely try it again.